Yash. So this is something people struggle with, especially when you're younger. I felt I felt this my whole life. I mean, on semen retention, not on semen retention, didn't matter. This was different, you know. I had some some subtle awareness of things, and I expected everyone else to have that same level of awareness. It's like, can't you just see, like you know, like at 7 years old, they wanted to, they did give me some really strong psychotropic drugs for a nervous system imbalance. They didn't know any better. My parents didn't know any better. The doctors, they're just programmed to follow the script, you know. So they wanted to give like Haldol and just strong like drugs, like stronger than street drugs. And I was like after I took it, I was just thinking, I'm like, this is like too strong. But see, when you're younger, you can't articulate this stuff, and you expect, if you know it at a young age, obviously your parents must know, obviously the doctor must know, but yet they're giving me this. This is just one example. And I'm like, why are they giving me this? Like, why? And then I would have bad side effects, like I'd feel like my bones were popping out of my skin. They were like moving inside, you know. So then I told them, and of course, then they give another drug to treat that, and that's when intuition kicked in and was like, something's weird. Like, this doesn't make sense, but I couldn't articulate it. So things like that, I couldn't understand how I could know something that's so obvious, but somebody else they don't know. Or when people would act from false motives. See, this would happen all the time, everywhere, in school, and your parents do it, and the way they talk to people. You know, you have a family get together. Those were the worst. I hated those. Everybody just gets together and acts fake, and I saw that. I saw it. I'm like, why is everybody acting fake? But I couldn't articulate it. Okay, so these are some things of why I felt different in teachers and school and everything, and just everybody was just, I was like, this planet's not my home. This is how I felt. And so then I started getting high, and then that helped. That helped a little bit, because it's like, like, who cares then, you know? But you can't do that forever. So then when you start semen retention, this is another level. Fortunately, I met somebody, a mentor, when I was like 15 and a half, going to Narcotics Anonymous 12-step program, and he straightened me out. He was like my father figure, and he said, yeah, man, look, you know, like, these people, I also don't know what anybody's talking about, man. And I'm like, really? That's how I feel? You know, it was cool. And then I learned later, there's just different evolutionary stages that people are in. And on one level, age doesn't mean anything, you know. Yogananda, Paramahansa Yogananda, was 7 years old, having debates, spiritual debates, and winning with these established saints, you know, who are older. So we don't know, you know, you can't judge a body or chronological age and say, oh, that means something. It does mean something on some level, but with these certain, if you already come into this planet and you kind of already have a deeper level of awareness, then on that level, age doesn't give that to you, unless you want to count lifetimes. That'll give you something. So then you start start semen retention. You can't, like, people that they just think you're crazy. The average person, like, what are they going to do? You know, they're talking about macking girls. Oh man, look at her, she's hot. Yeah. You know, yeah, I'm going to hit that tonight, I'm going to work it. And you're maybe on another level. You're like, you know, been there, done that. Like, what are we going to do that forever? Nah, you're a guy, man. Like, what do you mean? Were you gay? Like that's what you do. And then the mind, you start questioning yourself. But then later, your higher spiritual, intelligent tendencies win. And you're like, man, you can't hang with them anymore. Even though something wants to, you know, you might feel lonely, you want some camaraderie, but you just can't do it anymore. It's like, you can't do it. So then you feel lonely. And then you're like, then the mind kicks in again. And it's like, man, you don't have any friends, and what are you going to do? And, you know, and then you can start to think the semen retention is not giving you benefits, but really it's your mind that's causing this emotional, turmoil inside. It's the mind that's doing that, because you're self-talking. You're telling your mind, you're listening to your mind. That's the problem. And it's telling you many things that aren't true, and makes your self-esteem go down. And see, this is the challenge that real men you gotta walk through. You gotta be willing to just be alone then. It's like, whatever. God and I are a majority. That principle needs to ring true within. And you trust, and then intuition will talk to you. See, you can listen to intuition. Don't listen to the psychological mind, because it don't know what it's talking about. It talks from a level of conditioning and programs, that the lower level programs that humans have, and they have to transcend. The mind's talking from that level, telling you what you're missing, and basically it's just wrong every time it says anything. But if you're not aware of your higher intelligence, intuition, then if that's all you have to listen to, it's like, if all you have to listen to is a bunch of negative people, and you don't have any positive people in your life, that's going to get to you. So this same thing. If you're not aware of your higher, more intelligent, intuitive voice, and all you have is this mental negative chatter, that doesn't, you're not going to be in a good space. But your intuition's going to start telling you, look, man, you're good. You got to go through this. You got to pass through this stage so that you become established inside. Your true self now is starting to become born. You need to cooperate with that. And then your frequency is going to get stronger, and it's going to shoot out, and then you're going to magnetize other people who are doing the same thing. Those are your real friends. These other friends, they're like guests, in your life. They serve a purpose temporarily, and it's okay. And then you go to the next level, they're still here, and you're like, okay, bye, man. And you just keep going. And then you meet other people who are on that same frequency. What's that frequency? What that frequency I'm talking about is people where you're passionate about, like, self-development, inner freedom, self-realization. And so then you guys get together, and that's your discussion. You're talking about, like, what are the obstructions that are blocking this this calling you have inside to develop into the height of your being, your higher self. You talk like, oh yeah, these tendencies, I'm still, it's like when the girls look at me, I'm still looking for that, and that still activates me, but it's a temporary sugar high, and it keeps me down, and I want to transcend this. And then the person's like, yeah, man, I can understand that, me too. I start tripping on, like, I want more money, because I want a nice car for some reason. Like, I know it doesn't do anything. The car I got's cool, but this desire won't leave me alone. I want, like, one of these fast Mustangs or something, but yet my attention keeps going in these directions, and so then it creates anxiety inside, and then you share these stories with each other, like, yeah, and that gives you power, because it's like, when you're aware of this stuff, number one, that's a big deal. You're aware of it, so it can't last too much longer. Don't put a time limit, though, on how long it lasts. It's not your business. It's destiny and evolution. Your part is you be aware of how certain thoughts and desires are keeping you down. Next step, you share it with somebody. If you got a good, group, or one person's a lot, actually. If you just get one person, you're cool. And you guys share that stuff, you get more empowered. There's some power that comes when you, like, confess this stuff to one another, okay? And then, so that's one thing. You're talking about the obstructions that can keep you kind of stuck in this lower evolutionary level. And then you can also share the benefits. You're like, man, I've been preserving my semen now for 1 month, and this is what I'm experiencing. This isn't fantasy. I'm telling you straight, this is what I'm experiencing. And the other person's like, maybe they've been preserving for 3 months. He's like, yeah, totally. That's what I felt. And now I'm even feeling this, like the benefits are getting more subtle. So you can feel how that life force, when you're exchanging life force on that level, do you feel how it's a higher frequency? Just talking about it, just listening to this, you can feel it's a higher frequency, as opposed to, yeah, man, let's go out tonight. It's Friday night, you know, whatever. Go to the club, go wherever you go. I don't know where the people go. And then you look, oh, she's wearing whatever she's wearing, some provocative attire, short mini skirt. Oh, she's working it. You feel that vibration versus the vibration of what we're discussing right now. This vibration, can you feel, is more of a holistic, solid vibration. Now, these other vibrations, yeah, you'll get a hit. There's some excitement in it. You can just feel it by talking about it. There's like a dopamine hit. It's all dopamine. But then what? You can also feel, see it through. Look further than that short dopamine hit. What does it do? It just leaves you being an addict. It just makes you more of a dopamine addict, and then you need it more. And then you can feel later, you go home at night, everything's finished, and you kind of just feel empty. Like, I just kind of like lost, I spent all my energy, but I didn't get any back. Whereas if you go to like a satsang environment, like what we're doing now, if you have that kind of group, and you guys spend your night doing that, and you go out wherever you go out, I don't know, restaurant or coffee house or something, and then you share on this level, then you go home, can you feel how you're going to feel? You're going to be like, man, I didn't waste my time tonight. This was cool. Like, I feel more evolved. I went to another level. I want to do that again. You want to get addicted to that. Okay? That's what you do. And don't worry about these, you know, you want to weed out everybody who's not on your frequency. That's just what you got to do. If later they come to you and they need some help or something, that's different. Now there's space. Now maybe they're open to being on this frequency. And now you can provide a service. That'll make you more evolved. There's some spiritual energy that comes when we help people, but they need to be ready and asking for it. Don't let the ego, see, this is subtle stuff, people do it, they're lonely, they're feeling bored, and so they go and basically, without knowing it, try to find a way they can help. But really it's ego. Really they just want to talk to somebody because they're feeling bored, but their ego justifies, so no, I'm helping them though. Yeah, I'm going to go help people. Oh, I help people. They don't want your help. They're not even asking you for help, you know. And if it's a girl or somebody, they'll listen to you. They'll play the role like, oh yeah. They don't want help though. They got another motive. Maybe they want you to be their boyfriend and take care of them, or maybe they're lonely too. So two people are lonely, getting together, thinking not aware of what their motives are for getting together. One's lonely, the other's lonely. That's why they're together. It's not like they're in overflow and they really want to share this energy of and their passion about being free. You know, both people got to be on that level. You can't have just one. It doesn't work. So I hope that helped you. Have a good day.